Hello everyone. Welcome back to Normal Future. It loaded this. It saved last time, so I'll be going off from there. Now, if I make it into chapter 2 within an hour that I'm recording, which is going to be how long these episodes are, then I have to change the title to 1 through 2 or something like that. 1-2 or something, yeah. But oh, gallery. Oh, that's cool. Anyways, let's slide. But you can probably get over that side of hers, much like she'll get over the fact that fuel runs through your veins instead of blood. Okay, maybe I'm being a little unprofessional right now. What I meant to say is, I'm really looking forward to working with you, Phoenix. Oh, and feel free to call me Nats. That's what everyone here calls me anyway. Working with me? You mean we're co-workers? Aren't you supposed to work with me or something? Wait, that came out wrong. You're not my husband or anything. I mean, of course you're not. Don't worry. I totally get what you mean. Don't get me wrong, my job is to help you. However, at the same time, it's kind of like we're both working towards the same goal. I mean, your biggest question right now is whether you're still human, right? That's what we're trying to find out too. Me, Mary, and everyone else. You contribute to the project simply by existing, and I contribute by teaching you how to exist. It's like a symbiotic relationship. When you put it like that, it's kind of hard to disagree. Glad you're with me on this. I'm super excited about the road ahead of us. Finding answers to life's greatest questions, finding solutions to humanity's greatest problems. That's like a third of the reason why I joined Pandora. And I bet that's part of the reason why you're here too. So I'm looking forward to doing all that and more, working by your side. The words that come out of Natalie's mouth are somewhat predictable, coming from a young researcher like her, but they also seem as genuine as the rest of her personality. She seems to take pride in her work here, and her aspirations are quite commendable indeed. Still a third of the reason why. You wonder what the other reasons behind her joining Pandora could be. Probably a question for another time, you guess. Yeah, same here. Thanks for the encouragement, Nats. The girl giggles to herself like a schoolgirl upon hearing you use her nickname, but soon manages to bring herself to a stop. No need to thank me, just glad to be of help. You're honestly quite happy with how your conversation has been going so far. Now that the amount of people you can regularly chat with has dropped down to the single digits, conversing and hanging out are swiftly becoming your favourite activities. Although perhaps you should start asking some more useful questions now that your introductions are finally out of the way. So, you seem to have accepted the idea of synthetics pretty fast. Even I still can't wrap my head around it, and I'm literally one of them. Are you sure you haven't met any others before me? Not even glanced at one in the hallways or something? Speaking of, you've yet to see another synthetic yourself. Yeah, I expected the place to be stacked full of them, and you haven't even seen a single one of the last 2 weeks. Curious and slightly unsettling. Nope, believe it or not, you're the only one who lives nearby for now. Really? But I thought this was Pandora Labs HQ. It is. But Pandora has facilities all over the globe, and many of them are equipped with the same tech that was used to help you transition. This is far from the only place where the magic happens, I assure you. There goes my theories that the one downstairs was a one-off prototype, I guess. Well, the technology is still experimental, but I believe we're well past that stage. After all, if you're trying to save the lives of so many people close to death, you can't risk flying them here from all over the world. It's safer just to have similar facilities already on site, so no time is wasted. I see. So I wasn't the only one who was approached in dire circumstances like that. You're not sure how to feel about this revelation. And it's nice to Pandora give new chance at life to people who would otherwise have none. On the other hand, whether that's only because the people that close to dying are far less likely to reject their offer. Regardless, this isn't time to debate such things. Things such as these. It's best to get the conversation back on track before you start losing your mind again. You got me wondering, if there are any laboratories equipped to transition people all over the world, does that mean all the other synthetics live elsewhere too? Pretty much. Just about everyone else is currently living in specialized facilities across the globe, away from regular humans. The idea was to get you guys comfortable in a safe environment for a while. That way you could get accustomed to your new lives in peace and wait until the climate surrounding this technology became a little more amiable. An uneasy silence follows, until Natalie finds a new way to break the silence. That was the idea anyway, but I hear you insisted on getting back to a regular life sooner than anyone else. That's, interesting. You feel your gaze shying away from Natalie's, even though the laboratory probably didn't mean to put you on the spot. That's what happened, yeah. Definitely wasn't an easy choice to make, but I just couldn't stand being cooped up in here anymore. I didn't become a synthetic so I could be locked up in some laboratory or other. Not that's what you did to all the others. I was just treated fairly while I lived here, and I didn't mean to offend you by it. It's fine. I know you probably assumed the worst when you chose to join us, but we're not that bad. In fact, most of the other synthetics chose to isolate themselves of their own free will. I guess they figured out it was better this way until the world got a little bit nicer. Yep, I figured that may have had something to do with it. Can't say I blame them. After spending 3 days in the world out there. But you did go out there. You chose to head back into the world knowing how hard it would be. I can't help but wonder why. You take a deep breath as you wonder how best to answer the Labrador's perplexity. I didn't read that. Well, I don't know about the others, but I became a synthetic so that I could continue from where I left off, so I could go back to the life I used to have. And I can't do that here, no matter how cozy this place is or how nice the researchers may be. This isn't my home. My home is out there, and I'm determined to rebuild it, no matter how long that may take. Natalie seemed rather amazed by your determination, even a little taken aback. Wow, that's powerful. I'm surprised. Well, I'm happy your request was approved. That's for sure. You're the first synthetic to try and coexist alongside regular humans, after all. I'm sure there's lots of data that we could discover through you that we'd never be able to gather in a lab environment. Is that why you're so excited? Well, I won't deny that. As a researcher, the prospect of learning all sorts of new technology is very exciting. But I'm also happy, for you. I mean, if you're really strong enough to head back out there and fight to reclaim what's yours, that means we're doing something right here at Pandora. That our research has purpose after all. That's very nice to hear, Nat. The thought definitely shines a new light on your personal journey home. You might not have known Natalie for long, but she's already done wonders on your inspiration and morale. The least you could do is try and repay her for helpfulness. In that case, since we're on the topic, how would I go about helping you gather all this knowledge? You're already doing that by going out and living a normal life, as normal as it gets, anyway. Every step you take and every little victory you achieve brings us closer to our goal. That is, making sure every other synthetic can live the same kind of life as you do. After all, it'd be pointless to live forever if the rest of the world shunned you away at every turn. I hate sleep. I woke up 3 times last night. Really fell asleep. Hold on. After all, yeah, I already read that. That's why we need androids like you, proving to the people out there that you're just the same as them. So they can get accustomed to you and start believing in the project a little, for their own sake, as well as yours. I think that's the idea anyway. I see. I never thought just me living on my own life could help you to this extent. I really hope I don't have to export the audio and shuffle it back a bit so it's not delayed, because it usually does that, and it wastes my free exports that I have on freaking CapCut, and it's so annoying. Which means it's like 3 episodes a month, basically. or something. Because if not, and I export, I'm gonna have to watch the entire thing and record it, which I am not doing, bro. I'm not doing that. And there's a chance that that audio gets delayed too, so... Haven't really figured that one out, actually. I should have done this at the end of the month. When it resets. I'd love to have you meet other people like you in the future. Even though right now they live so far away. I'm sure that would help you feel a ton better about yourself. I don't know about that. I'm not great when it comes to formal meetups. Well, we could always just keep it casual. It doesn't have to be formal if you're not cool with it. I don't know. I feel like it'd be far easier for me to invite you out for lunch than another synthetic I'd never even heard of before. Hearing your hastily worded comment, Natalie's eyes suddenly light up like stars. Whoa, did you just ask me out? No, I was just trying to make an example. The Labrador laughs off your embarrassment. The cheeks remain as red as tomatoes. Where's the fucking red? Oh wait, that's not what I'm supposed to say. I'm supposed to say kiss, 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 kiss. Anyway, I wonder what would happen if she took off her clothes. And he took off his... And my character took off his clothes. I shouldn't be thinking about it. Anyways. Hey, I know. Still, that was super cute. I want to be blushing for the next week at this rate. Please don't. But yeah, if you ever feel like going out together, feel free to invite me anytime. Since we're going to be working together for the foreseeable future, we might as well grow to be close friends while we're at it. I want them to start fucking dating, bro. Listen, as unpopular as this game is, with a pretty small fan base compared to even small games like that you'd see on the App Store, this game probably hangs up with one of those small games. I couldn't even see how many downloads this game had. And when I see someone had played the entire game and made a playlist about it, at most, I think the video got at least a few thousand views, like 3,000 maybe. And that was with playing with the creator, Hedge. But yeah, anyway. You end up blushing a little yourself. Natalie definitely has some interesting ways of showing her excitement, that's for sure. And not a lot of ways to hide it, it would seem. Oh, you're the best. I'm definitely going to take you up on that offer one day. What a banter. I'm adding so much commentary for some reason. I'm so excited. Where do you want to go? A restaurant downtown? The stadium? Oh, there's this neat little retro arcade near my place that I always wanted to. She's giving British vibes, and my character's giving Australia-ish vibes. Which I am from Australia, so I should be able to do both of these. Holy shit. I hope this is Mary. It's Mary. Mary joins the two of you faster than you can even notice her. A smug grin already plastered on her face. Yeah, I'll give... How did you do that? No, that's more British. I didn't hear you stop working or walk all the way here. Well, I'm a cat phoenix. You could say being stealthy comes naturally to me. Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to... I'll give her an American, my character Australian, and Nat's a British. Besides, by the time you reach my age, you're either dead or you've picked up a trick or two that can prevent that. That sounded Irish or Scottish, or Welsh. Probably Irish. I sounded British whilst also sounding American, which usually people associate to being Australian, but I sounded Irish, okay? Huh, wait, how old are you? Mary, it wasn't like that. Stop trying to make everything sound stupid. He probably already thinks I'm a weirdo without your help. Come on, you know that's not true. She's just having a laugh at your expense. Don't let her win so easily. Ha! Looks like someone's already caught up with my antics. Impressive. Oh, shut up, you. And come help me fix already. With Mary's help, you soon manage to calm down the Labrador enough so that she can form coherent sentences again. Mary's antics sure can be a handful sometimes. How Natalie hasn't gotten used to them already is beyond you. However, just as the room seems to return to some semblance of calm at least. Dr. Shelley, are you in there? Yeah, that voice is going to have to be a Dr. Shelley. Doctor. We'll actually have to see who it is. It's strong, intense, distinctly masculine, and it doesn't sound... Oh, okay, Dr. Shelley, are you in there? Yeah, you're getting that Irish accent that I don't actually know how to do from earlier. However, something about its tone and urgency already has you on edge. You glance over at the two women before you, looking for answers. Natalie appears frightened beyond a description, whilst Mary looks more resigned than anything else. Come on, what does he want this time? I don't know. Oh dear, you think he's mad at me? Unlikely, he doesn't even know you exist half the time. He definitely's coming for me. He always has a reason to come for me. Unless the cat turns to face you, an inquisitive gaze in her eyes. The clear lack of explanation is really starting to bother you. I'm sorry, can someone please explain to me what's going... Before you can utter another word, you hear the entrance to the room slamming wide open, immediately triggering your fight or flight instincts. Holy shit, it looks so cool! Oh my god, I love this guy. Oh my god, he looks so cool. Oh my god. Holy shit. Woo-wee. No, I'm giving him that strong American, strong... What accent has a strong accent? What's a really strong accent? It's giving Irish, Scottish, maybe Welsh. I mean, it looks like a reptile, so I'll go with a mix of all three because I don't know how to actually accent them all. Like daggers plunging into flesh. That's all. Ew. Good afternoon, Dr. Shelley. I see your office remains as messy as ever. I hope you don't mind me trampling over some of these papers scattered about while I'm here. Papers that I believe I've asked you to pick up numerous times. Though yes, it's a dragon! Mary appears undaunted, if slightly annoyed. She musters as nonchalant as a reply as she can, though you can tell that her tone doesn't match her true feelings. Well, if it isn't Jasper, complaining about things I was just about to do as per usual. Jasper barely raises an eyebrow at Mary's clear provocation. Good enough. Dr. Shelley, I asked you that a month ago. Did you now? Well, I've just been so busy as of late. I simply couldn't find the time. I'm sure you understand. Right, busy. The Drake shoots a sharp gaze in your direction, which is somehow enough to send your heartbeat into a craze. You're not sure why, but you have a feeling this man isn't here to praise or commend you as freely as the other two in this room. That I can believe. I know firsthand how busy this new synthetic of yours is keeping everyone here. As you try to grasp what this Jasper person could be talking about, you hear Mary raise her voice once again, So, to what do I owe this unexpected and totally unscheduled visit? I know you're not very keen on seeing me unless you have to. I have my reasons, one of them being I wish to see the latest black hole in our finances with my own eyes. The drake grows even closer, his pitch black eyes firmly locked onto yours. What a frightening representation on your visor, anyway. Your first instinct is to run away from the rapidly encroaching threat. It's only your fear of crushing Natalie in your retreat path that stops you from doing so. Just as you turn to look at the Labrador, you realize that she is nowhere to be seen. You soon spot her hiding in the corner of the room, as far away as from the action. Turning at you until she comes closer and closer to the eye of the storm. And speaking of, right here, you can. You must be the new synthetic Phoenix, correct? I've heard a lot of things about you. This is a horrible accent, by the way. Before you can even inquire for an explanation, the man's expression instantly sours and grows heavy with all the rage she was holding back mere minutes ago. You're a troublesome heap of trash is what you are. Do you have any idea of the trouble you caused this company because of your decision to leave the labs? Your reckless actions are beyond reproachable. The amount of work and money you've cost this establishment in the last few days is bigger than the yearly revenue of a small company. Did you even consider all this as you whimsically decide to return to your old life based on nothing more than a senile hag's advice? It feels like standing in the midst of an eruption as the man throws insult after insult your way, somehow never losing his composure or raising his voice as he does. Sorry. But you're quickly getting tired of random jokes shouting in your face for no reason, and the thought of putting this man in this place like you did that officer earlier is more tempting than ever. But you'd rather avoid doing anything drastic before you've assembled the full picture. And so you decide to ask for clarifications in a facile way. I'm sorry, I don't think we've ever met before. Who are you again? Drake scoffs at your impolite query, clearly unamused. Really? You never told him? Would you believe me if I said it never came up? Right, of course it didn't. I can see why you're a scientist and not a teacher. Very well. Someone needs to formally introduce this synthetic to the company, as it might well be me. He briefly pauses as if to gather his energy, then resumes. His explanation with the same coldness and distance in his voice that you're now accustomed to. I am Jasper Morgan, CEO of Pandora Inc. You know, the administrator of this company who owns this building, these facilities, these researchers. And you, of course, the what now? The CEO? Well, that would have been awkward. Imagine telling Mary's own superior to get lost. You definitely dodged a bullet there. You really ought to thank your better judgment for staying with. But in spite of the challenge, although it doesn't look like the Drake has any intention of staying, don't think for a moment this means I find you endearing, however. Assuming you can even think, I'm merely reminding you whose advice, whose orders you're really supposed to listen to. The dragon speaks to you with a certain contempt in his voice that you definitely didn't expect from anyone in his position. From anyone in the company, rather. After all, according to Mary, you're Pandora's greatest achievement, a miracle of science, so why does this man treat you so poorly? Certainly doesn't make asking further queries any easier. Keep your resentment hidden further for the time being. Pardon me, but I don't recall you giving me any advice in the past. That is correct. Truth be told, I trusted Mary to give you a good idea of the things you were and weren't supposed to do in my stead. But like always, that grandiose leap of judgment, that was a grandiose leap of judgment. Allow me to rectify that mistake. The man takes another step towards you, but the cat quickly slips between you. Listen, whatever you think, forget it. I gave Phoenix permission to return to his old life for a reason. It was a necessary step for our project, both to show the public the merit in our work and so we could start analysing new data that... Yes, I'm well aware of how you justified it to the owners. A load of nonsense, really, if you ask me, but it was enough to convince them to let you do as you please yet another time. Excuse me, who are the owners again? Blah, blah, blah. Did you tell me your little pet anything in the brief time he was here? Without even waiting for an answer, the Drake turns to face you again. The owners are the shareholders of Pandora Inc. They own the cash this company needs to survive. Catch your little friend. He is so eagerly tossed in the drain. Unfortunately, as of late, they become more and more disinterested in their duties, opting instead to delegate anything to the absolute buffoon that this is the doctor over here. Oh, please. You think this is a recent development? The owners have been trusting me and my team long since before you even started working here. And with some luck, they'll realize the flaws in that decision long before they'll be gone. But let's return to us, shall we? I wasn't quite finished talking with the android. Believe me, we have much to discuss. I hate this guy's guts! And also like him. He looks cool. His design is good, but his attitude and personality is... If you have anything you'd wish to discuss with him, you might as well mention it to me first. Jasper hesitates for a moment, pondering over what to do, before ultimately accosting to the woman's request. That's a horrible accent. This video is feeling very racist, and I don't know why. And I have a feeling I know why. Very well, if you insist on shielding that glorified toaster from his mistakes, I might as well chat these you. And besides, the android already knows what he did. A maelstrom of rage boils underneath the intimidating Drake's voice, starting to spill out at a moment's notice. You're instantly taken aback by the strange wording. All you can think about in this highly stressful situation is wanting the world to see you. I'm sick. In the midst of your ponderings, the reptile starts fiddling with the tablet device he brought with him before quickly handing it over to the doctor. I thought it'd be appropriate to show you a neat little video that is currently making rounds across the web. I figured you'd be interested given the subject of recording. Oh, is it a puppy video? I love puppy videos, how'd you know? It is in fact very much not a puppy video, unless of course you're talking about that untrained mutt over there. That's fucking mean as fuck. See for yourself. As the video begins to play, you immediately hear the sounds of a crowd of a commotion of a train station. Oh no. You realize what is going on long before you hear your own voice shouting out loud in the background of the recording. I've forgotten about the incident from this morning and the many things you said and did as you tried to free yourself from the grasp of those two policemen. I think this footage needs no further comment. I do not know what to extent you comprehend the consequences. Synthetic, but I trust you can understand the problem here. Rebelled against, insulted and borderline assaulted two officers of the law in broad daylight to no less. Do you have any idea of what you did or what you just caused? Taken back by some accusations leveled against you, nonetheless you try to defend yourself from the overwhelming evidence Jasper presented. I know the police department likely has it out for me by now, but who said anything about you? I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking about blah blah blah. That's what you threaten with your reckless actions, not yourself. Tens of thousands of what? How how rich is this company? Tens of thousands of billions of dollars? That's like 10 trillion. What is this company doing? What are the owners doing? You could just live a life of luxury. You just leave this all behind with your tens of trillions of dollars. You basically have infinite money. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my fucking god. Needless to say, this is... Oh, but fuck. Ugh. Do you finally comprehend the situation? Are you going to be stubborn until the end? This is what happens when you let an overhyped text-to-speech programmer. Are you finished? Come on, can't you hear how ridiculous you sound? Making the situation look far scarier than it is. Excuse me? Come on, you got all that from a 10-minute video of an American righteously standing up to an impressive police force. I don't see anything to be scared of in this video, only proud. Have you finally lost your mind? No, I'm just reading the comments. You'll find that most of the people who saw the video, including those who uploaded it in the first place, are cautiously supportive of our little android's actions. Sure, there's a sizable minority that isn't quite as exuberant, but contrarians are always to be expected, as I'm sure you know quite well. Younger demographics, especially amongst the vocal about the support for Phoenix's actions, but I'm sure the older ones won't take too long to start showing their support. Right. I'm having a seizure. No, I'm not. That's not what a seizure is. I'm a fucking idiot. It's like rabbis or something. Maddie keeps doubling down on her incredible crimes. Oh, that's way stronger. It's not quite enough fully to convince everyone of our instant humanity, but I believe this will be great advertising for our upcoming project. The Jake or the police groups, upon hearing the felines thoughts on the matter. Free advertising, of course. I'm sure others will be very glad to hear that we'll be spending our money on them instead of a PR team. But all it doesn't matter what the people think of that Android if the government decides to crack down on this whole operation. And I find the little reason to believe that they won't. I beg to disagree. Do you smell that? It's the smell of cat piss. And it burns my nose. Anyways, surely you jest. That thing literally disregarded the orders of two officers, insulted them to their face, tossed them around like ragdolls. The people might be quick to forgive such crimes, but it just won't be as lenient. Okay. Simply put, I find it very hard to believe that Venus could be convicted of those crimes. Then perhaps you ought to transition to a new brains, because that one's clearly not working. Evidence, you say? Why I don't doubt there's plenty of evidence for a crime our synthetic hero cannot currently commit. Both of you and Drake struggle to understand what the cat could possibly be talking about. Excuse me? What in the world are you raving about this time? That's strange. I thought I sent you a memo about that already. Oh well, it happens. The cat gets the laboratory in the corner of the room a question mark. To which the latter quietly nods. Nearly swiftly heads to Mary's desk, picks up a handful of documents, among many, then hands them over to Jasper. Never once trying to look him in the eyes as she does. As the canine quickly returns to him, holding spot the reptile already hard at work analyzing the papers. Mary briefly explains the contents to you, but these documents are from our internal law team, whom I asked to analyze the current normative environment surrounding synthetics, as well as some insider knowledge on most congressmen's positions on the matter. As you are aware, our current objective is to find definitive proof that our synthetics are living beings, with the same intellect and rights as any other human. However, it's not only us who'd like to be certain of that. Congress is currently debating that very question as we speak, with no clear answer yet in sight. By the looks of things, they might not be able to reach a consensus, but until the end of the year at least. They're debating whether I'm human or not. The idea that your humanity or lack thereof could be decided by a bunch of powerful men just like that is desolating. Why did she lose her eye color? Like, what happened to her eyes? They're just black voids, pits of nothingness. It's like, as far as the law is concerned, anyway, it's a pretty touchy subject, you know. The current law system was built around humans who are entitled to specific rights and must follow specific duties because they are human. It is only because of this human status that someone can be prosecuted under the law. For example, after all, it'd be ridiculous to indict a pet cat for scratching the owner or a car because its engine is somehow busted up all of a sudden. To prosecute you for a crime that you supposedly committed would be the same thing as admitting you're on the same cognitive level as a human being. An idea that many of these politicians are vehemently opposed to. Vehemence. In spite of her unbelievable saying I can't commit crimes right now. Pretty much, for now, you're illegal limbo with neither a person or object. Practically bars you from entering a court of law. This loophole isn't going to last forever, of course. At some point, they're bound to reach a decision. Naturally, we find irrefutable proof of your humanity. We'll find irrefutable proof of your humanity before that happens. However, for the time being, it should be more than acceptable compromise for us. I'm not sure how you feel about the situation, but I'd like to know why your personal conduct is somewhat reassuring. That is a rather liberal interpretation of the facts you just shared, Dr. Shelley. Leave it to Drake to not be convinced by the mirrors. It's hard to do the accent switches, okay? Just because he can't be prosecuted doesn't mean that we won't. Until those morons at Congress decide otherwise. Which means that we're the ones who would end up paying for the mess he made. That would be correct, if you assume that Phoenix is just another AI whose faults that can be contributed solely to awful programming and the likes. However, that very notion is still under intense debate, if there is even a chance that synthetics are living beings, and that their decisions are entirely theirs. A court cannot argue in good faith that we're to blame for any damages they cause. Which means that until they decide on a definition, we're entirely in the clear. An exhale comes out of Drake's nostrils as he wrestles with the information presented to him. Please, you can't be seriously... Please, you can't seriously believe that... No, that was just more Hindi. In Sanskrit, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Afrikaans, Deans. Please, what exactly? I answered your every question, worked through every problem you brought up. What more could you possibly want from me? What I want is for you to face reality for a goddamn second. You really think you can keep playing this dangerous game forever without any fears of consequences? At some point, all these debates you mentioned would end. that customers will figure out the truth or will reasonably reach a conclusion if you continue clinging to denial. I've never seen anything bad about the Nile River. Oh, shit. I don't want to cut these out of the video. I'm too lazy. I've just been uploading the entire thing, except for me clicking onto the app. The entire fucking goddamn time. Oh yeah, and the truth is that you're full of shit. This project is, and you know it! All you're doing is setting the stage for a new Chronos, a new worldwide disaster that we won't recover from. You might be this company's best researcher, but even you can't bring people back from the dead. And the sooner you realize it's not real people in those shiny carcasses you keep dredging up, the better it'll be for all of us. Excuse me? The insult you heard just now was so offensive, even you're better to talk to you from. Well, someone likes to hear himself talking, but I think we've all heard more than enough. I know you're still looking for reasons to burn this project to the ground, but you won't find any here. I'm far more prepared than you think I am. To we prove once and for all whether synthetics are real people or not, you can't keep all your Oh. Can the hour just... Has it been an hour yet? Has it been an hour? Or has it been like only 20 minutes? I can't tell. A brief uncomfortable silence follows the scientist's hateful rant. For a moment, it feels like anything could happen now. For better or for worse. Any further issues you'd like to bring to my attention? You spot a myriad of feints threatening to burst on the Drake's face, including many that you didn't know existed until today. La 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 la, you smell like a shit fuck. I couldn't think of anything to say. You fear that his reply to this subordinate's aggressive response. This game does start to get a little boring to some degree, but that's because all you do is sit and read. That's unless you're recording, then you at least have some commentary to say, and you're not just talking to yourself like I'd probably do. Anyways, that looks like nacho cheese in the background. Nacho cheese. Look, in that lava lamp that actually has lava in it, because I remember that from the last episode. That looks like nacho cheese. And a cylinder. Look, no, not to yours anyway. Before you know it, Jasper's muzzle. Oh God. Listen well, synthetic. I don't know what that lunatic might have told you, and I don't care. Until proven otherwise, you are a representative of Pandora, and you will behave as such from now on, whether you like it or not. What you do with your time and with the money we throw into this flaming dumpster of a project is none of my concern. If it causes trouble for us again, there will be consequences. Is that clear? The thought of decking this man right on the nose once again pops into your mind. Given anything he said to you, and to both you and your friends, it certainly wouldn't be remiss. But in the end, you can't deny that he's right. At least on one thing, you do represent Pandora now, in one way or another. At least Mary and her team and the other synthetics under her tutelage. Out of respect for this tiny speck of truth within us, which you can see to his point in resignation. Crystal clear, sir. You've been hasty, but check out the lightest expression and good. Well then, with all due respect. and Dr. Shelley. Don't think for a second that this is over. Fuck! That was awkward as fuck. Even though the dragon's gone, you can still feel the sheer weight of his words hanging on your shoulder. An encounter you won't soon forget. God, what a nuisance. Who does he even think he is? Hey, the music's back! Anyways, blah blah blah, rhetorical. The CEO, you know, the guy's paying our bills. No, that's the HR department's job. The CEO is just the guy who can fire people at will. How is that an improvement? Relax, he's never gonna fire me. He'll never say it out loud, but I'm way too valuable to this company to get rid of. What about me? I guess I can see why you're so scared now. Mary! Could you be serious for once, Mary? Ali's right to be worried. He's the CEO of your company. Can you really blame us for being scared? Especially after what happened. Look, there's no reason for either of you to panic. Jasper might be the CEO, but I'm in charge of this project. If he wants to lay even a finger on you, he has to wait for my express approval first. And needless to say, that's never gonna happen. At the end of the day, he's just a pissy snake with a poisonous tongue and an ego too big to fit in his head. That's not the point. I just feel like you're going out of your way to make him your enemy. Like, there has to be some way of dealing with the situation without escalating like you did, right? Got him to leave for now, that's true. But the next time he comes for you or Phoenix, he'll surely be even more relentless in his approach. What time is it? Hold on. Dang it. Okay. Mary takes another deep breath as she shakes her head, unconvinced. Look, the guy's got to stick up his backside bigger than this, but... You've seen how he acts when he believes he's right. I'm already pushing my limits by not decking him in the snout every time he shows up. You can't reasonably expect me to treat him any better than that. The Labrador looks stunned and dejected, unsure of whether to press the issue any further. Do you think we see any synthetics in this entire game? I mean, we have to at some point, right? Like, it might happen it might take a few chapters, but like, it have to at some point, like, literally. Interject the discussion much more transcendent and more confident than before. I understand where you're coming from, Mary, but Natalie's right. You were pretty confrontational back there. Huh. You think so too? You certainly know. Yeah, I mean, I'll get that there's bad blood between you two, but were all those jabs and insults really necessary? Maybe not, but I couldn't care less either way. For as long as he's been here. Always meddling where he shouldn't be, always throwing wrenches in my plans. The way I see it, a little petty revenge where I can get it doesn't hurt. Especially if I can get a laugh out of it. A laugh? That's a horrible pronunciation, by the way. Laugh? Laugh. It's laugh. Doesn't make sense because it's an AU, but laugh? Americans, what do you want? Get a laugh out of it. Laugh. And then the GH is just fucked up for both of our accents. Like, laugh. 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 It should have just been like AUF or AUPH. That at least makes some sort of sense. Like, F and PH are like the only ones that make sense. PH makes sense because it does. It makes sense, okay? But GH, like, that's the like if you say rough twice, it sounds really weird. Like rough. Whoops, I stopped for a second. Hang on. Like if you say rough twice, it sounds really weird. Like rough. Wait. I was told by someone that it would sound weird, but I just sounded like I was a fucking dog. Anyway. There goes my exponential mimesis. If the problem was just between you and Jasper, I'd understand. But you've got a whole team under you, and you're unwillingly dragging them into this mess. The more your conflict worsens, the more unnerved your colleagues are going to feel. What if something were to happen to them because of all this? Think of it. Think of Natalie and the others, Mary. Are they really worth less than what a few less can get you out of Jasper? Alright. I get it. If nothing, I say will assuage your fears. I promise I'll try to cut down on the sass a little. At least while that bark-headed fools around. Unless he starts throwing you guys under my nose again. Then it's on. Like Donkey Kong. And like your mom going doggy style. And dad going doggy style. They're both doing doggy style. Whilst looking around for their phones in the pillow pile. I'm doing the thing when you lift your eyebrows both up and down with a smirk on your face. Okay, anyway. You have no idea what to feel. I'm gonna hold fate to your promise. Motherfucker. What a bitch fucker. Well, that's an awkward. Are we gonna reach chapter 2 at some point? If so, then I can end this episode early. Yay! While Natalie decides to use this moment of calm to restore some semblance of order to the room, she sees the opportunity to ask a couple questions to the doctor. Regardless, I don't understand how someone like that is even allowed to work here. I get that he's the CEO and stuff, but I never imagined he'd be so arrogant and harsh. Not to mention his blatant disbelief in his own product. Well, you wouldn't be surprised to hear that part of the reason why he's the CEO is because his grandfather is Pittsburgh's majority shareholder. Like all big racist, this one was rigged from the start. Listen, I know I said I'd make this video an hour long, but I'm getting tired and my voice hurts and yeah. So we're going to oops, let me read this. You're kidding, right? So he gets to act as he pleases just because his grandfather is a big shot? Hang on. Okay, let's save. We're still in chapter 1, bro. We're still in chapter 1. Return. Wait, save. Menmunia. Yes. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching my No Future episode 3. And I was supposed to say more than that, and I accidentally went straight to the chase, and fuck, I messed up. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. This game's really fun, and yeah, bye.